I'm Steven.
And I'm Spencer. Welcome to Ragnarokast, your podcast for all things marketing and MarTech.
Hello, everyone. We're the co-CEOs of Ragnarok.
Oh, hello there. I'm Spencer, and welcome to the Ragnarokast.
And I'm Steven, the other Spencer. Hello. Hey, guys, it's me.
Today with us, we have two guests. We have Sir Eric of the Sacramento Hill people. We have Katrina of the Gator Clan.
Yeah, I am stepping out from my producer mode to talk about some nifty stuff.
Bam, what a pun.
So, Eric, actually, why don't you, before we get into the questions, why don't you just quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. My name is Eric Elliott. I obviously work here at NiftyImages. I've been here for the past 5 years. I believe it'll be 6 years this December. As far as my role here with the company, it's kind of interesting in that I get to work both on the enterprise sales side as well as assist our partnership teams. So from my perspective, it's a very unique role in that I get to be very hands-on with our clients, kind of an intimate approach to really get to understand their wants and needs, and then put that into production for them. But I have been in the email marketing space though for the past 16 years, which is pretty crazy to say that out loud. Ultimately, just really excited about what we're doing here at NiftyImages. Really stoked about the opportunity to get to partner with a company like Ragnarok and get to work with y'all. And ultimately things are going good, and we're really excited.
But how long have you been around? You know, what's maybe give us a little bit of background on the company.
Yeah,
how long has it been around? What do you do?
Yeah, of course.
For our listeners, obviously, we're pretty nifty here.
And our viewers.
Viewers.
Yeah, so NiftyImages, we've been around for the past 8 years, plugging along strong. And interesting how we came to be in that, you know, the partners here at NiftyImages, they all have a background in owning an ESP. And during that time of ownership, they noticed a lot of gaps in functionality when it came to dynamic content and email personalization. So the idea of Nifty was born. We wanted to build it so that, you know, we completely removed IT development. We wanted to make it so that no integrations were needed. We wanted to make it incredibly easy to use, which I think we all can agree is amazing. And then 4, we wanted to make it affordable so that not just the top 1% of the companies are able to use a solution that does the same things that we do. So that's how NiftyImages was born, and that's how we became to be. Now, in regards to how does it work, this is where my wife says that I overcomplicate the entire explanation. So it's really just a simple image URL with a merge tag. And what I mean by that is whatever type of personalized image you want to build, whether that's a live poll or countdown timer or calendar, A/B split test, or a chart, when you're done building that image, we give you an image URL, and you simply just take that image URL, you copy it, and then you'll paste it right into your existing email template. Now, we're ESP agnostic, so we work with any ESP seamlessly, which is kind of the beauty of NiftyImages. So hopefully that's a simplified explanation of how to use it.
So, like, my big thing that why I've, like, really sort of gravitated toward Nifty is just from the creative side, especially in email, we're just always telling our clients, like, no, sorry, you can't do that. No, it doesn't work. So that's kind of like why I've really gravitated toward this. And, you know, we are kind of ramping up for the holiday sales and campaigns with just highly personalized greetings and urgency messaging, which features new or legacy have you seen perform well in this kind of situation? And, you know, what do we see could be really beneficial as we're kind of gearing up toward, you know, planning our holiday strategies?
Yeah, I think the first feature that comes to mind, which is probably nothing new to a lot of folks here, is countdown timers. And if you want to see an uptick in performance and engagement in your campaigns, throw a countdown timer in there and see what happens. And there's a lot of reasons for it. You know, scarcity increases perceived value. There's FOMO. Obviously, consumers are visual creatures, so it excites a visual sensory experience. It just causes users to act. So it's a great feature to easily add in during this time of year with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and the holidays. So you're going to see a lot of countdown timers this time of year. The next I would say is it's called a critical message. And a critical message, it's either an image that's turned off or turned on. So an example would be if you're running a promotion and that promotion is not doing exceptionally well, maybe you turn on that critical message and you deepen the discount. So you can excite users about that promotion you're running, or you can show live inventory in that critical message to show how many more products are available left to buy. So critical messages are a great feature to have this time of year. The next would probably be condition-based images. So with condition-based images, it's kind of just that. It's showing different images to different users based on the data that you have on them. So this is great for loyalty points and loyalty programs. If you want to show, images to certain people based on how many loyalty points they have or how far they are to the next tier, that can all be done at scale where you remove the need for segmentation. We're literally just creating logic, and based on that logic, we're showing the appropriate images to certain users. And the last would be dynamic content. So with dynamic content, obviously that's done through an API. We're able to do things like show abandoned cart emails or suggested product emails. It's you could even do like weather-based images. If it's above a certain degree in temperature, show certain weather-related products. So anything where we can utilize an API and pull in real-time images or data, that's going to be great for dynamic content. So those would probably be the most heavily used around this time of year.
So when you're, you're talking about all these different features that Nifty has to offer, which is great because that's exactly the kind of tool set that you want coming into the holidays, basically more leverage to drive an incremental sale, especially when you have such a limited period of time. You don't have a lot of tolerance for messing up, more or less. So it sounds like, part of the tool set is the flexibility, as you said with the critical messaging. Yeah. I don't know why that was so hard for me, of having that flexibility to if it doesn't work, I can just put something else in there. Yeah. But is there sort of any other type of sort of strategy that you recommend for people to keep in mind in holidays, such as things like, do you recommend micro-segmentation or having like pretty narrow defined audiences and having a lot of experiences around that? Like how do we kind of do this at scale? Yeah,
so I think micro-segmentation and creating these pretty narrow defined audiences, I think there's always going to be a time and a place for that. I don't want to say that there's not a need for it, but I think the really cool thing with NiftyImages is that we're giving marketers the ability to personalize the user experience at scale. And at scale is the key word here. We're kind of eliminating the need to micro-segment and create these pretty narrow defined audiences, because when you're in NiftyImages, you can, create the rules and logic of what you want to show and to whom, which is pretty amazing. So you send out a single email campaign, and now users get a completely different experience based on, the known data that we have, the known characteristics that we have, anything that we know about our subscriber base. That's going to dictate what content is seen by the subscribers. So again, harnessing the power of that data gives marketers now the ability to create some really cool, unique visual experiences at scale where we don't really need, like we did in the past, to segment or to create these pretty narrow defined audiences. So it's pretty cool to see, pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. So essentially, you're what you're sort of saying is, hey, if you might normally have sort of 3 or 5 different segments that correspond to each loyalty tier or something like that, if you use a definition around points. However, with Nifty, we can just kind of plop in this one by one pixel. Yeah. And then it's dynamic based on whatever data that we pop in there. So for example, if some tier has a higher discount or lower discount, kind of depending on what point value the person is at, and you can kind of track those changes over time, which is pretty nifty if I say so myself.
It's very, very nifty. The cool thing too is that you can actually take an image and then change the image even after the email's been sent. So again, in that example of, a client's running a promotion. The promotion is not doing as well as that the marketers would want. So you insert that critical message. It says now, if someone opens it, they get 25% off that promotional item that they're sending. So something to keep in mind is that let's say that the promotion does well or the promotion doesn't do well. With the critical message, you have the ability to pivot in that email and say, hey, we can either discount this more, or if that product is no longer available, let's say inventory is low, we can now take in another promotion, put it where the first promotion was, and anyone that opens that email will now get something that's still relevant, but maybe, we just don't have it any longer for that initial experience that the subscribers had.
Yeah, that I actually love, because there's so many times that maybe I miss my window and I don't necessarily get my follow-up, down the journey soon enough, I just remember like, oh my gosh, I remember there was this cell phone case I wanted, and I go and I do a keyword search for like who that cell phone company case was, and I'm like, okay, there it is. And I don't necessarily remember what was marketed toward me, what exact items, but I remember that there was a sale. And so I'll go back, and I think it's great because now like I don't have exact memory of what it was, but I do know that I'm going back to that company and taking advantage of the sale.
Yeah, I think we've all had a similar experience to what you just shared with us, Kat. Funny though, we actually have a kind of a neat feature called subscriber actions that would work perfectly in something like this. Not that you kind of put the ball in the tee for me, but imagine this, right? So you get that email. It's showing cell phone cases that are heavily discounted. You open the email, you click on the cell phone case, you go back to the website, you abandon it, you don't make the purchase. And let's say later on that day, you open that same email to look at that cell phone case again. Well, what we could do is we can actually change that image. So it's maybe a different image or it has different content that could say, hey, it's you again. Don't make this awkward. You know you need me, right? So marketers have fun with situations like these. They get creative, and we've seen a spike when it comes to maybe the second or third engagement with an email with changing either the image or the content a little bit and having fun with it. So maybe you got to let me know about that cell phone case so I can go talk to him.
So Eric, what are some key strategies to keep in mind when creating these dynamic modules?
There's going to be a lot of strategies that you're going to want to keep in mind. However, something that I like to drive home with my clients and folks that I talk to is be mindful about what email client your subscribers are opening their campaigns on. And what I mean by that is if you're wanting to show an animated GIF like a countdown timer, the old archaic, if you want to call it archaic, the older Outlook email clients don't support animated GIFs. So in replace of that, you can show a personalized image or a date stamp. That way, those folks are still getting somewhat of a personalized experience, and then everyone not on Outlook would get the anticipated countdown timer that you would want to show. Another strategy is, use data to enhance the user experience. Not everyone is and should get the same experience, especially in how they interact with your brand. So use that data to offer a creative and visual experience for subscribers that would be different, again, based on how they're interacting with your brand, whether that's, they're spending money or you have a loyalty program. Maybe we want to show different images to customers and subscribers because they are purchasing more and have more loyalty points. We want to reward them and treat them maybe a little different than someone that maybe has not made a purchase and has no loyalty points with your program. So again, use the data to enhance the user experience. The next would be, I don't know if this is really a strategy, but just be willing to pivot. I've seen a lot of clients where they're running a promotion and the promotion's not doing as well as they would anticipate. So what they'll do is they'll swap that promotion with maybe a different promotion, or they'll put some sort of a critical message that drives home that promotion that says live inventory. We only have X amount of this product left. So again, be willing to pivot if maybe something is not going in your favor. And I think the last thing to kind of touch on for a strategy is to kind of use the holidays to your advantage. There's going to be a lot of web visitors. There's going to be a lot of people on your website. They're going to be looking at products. Use the data that you have as far as what they're browsing and what they're looking at, and then get that right back in front of them, because they're going to go to one of your competitors. They're going to look for a better sale or a better deal, a different color. But be mindful of that. And if they do abandon your site, use the data that you've collected on them to put that back into an email in front of them so you can hopefully convert them into a customer.
So this was something that's kind of like, I'm learning a lot more about data, coming from the more visual world. And I'm thankful that I've got my team to teach me all about this stuff. But we've got the polls. The polls are like a really cool new thing that Nifty's doing. And we've got that. And then we have other first party data collection. It's becoming very normal. But what are some ways that people can leverage user responses in their creative in future sends and continue to iterate? That was a mouthful.
Yeah, Kat, we are absolutely pumped up about this new feature, live polls. Really, really excited about it. And in the last 2 months or so that we've released it, the feedback that we're getting from our clients that are utilizing this feature has been nothing but positive. And you're right, though. Zero-party and first-party data, that's the golden standard of what us marketers should be doing on how we want to interact with our subscribers by, again, using that data. Obviously, we want to be as relevant and as engaging and as personalized as we can be. Otherwise, it can basically just be kind of white noise for consumers when they open those emails. And that's kind of why we're so pumped up about the idea of polls, live polls. With live polls, we're now able to gather valuable insight on our subscribers that gives the marketer the ability to tailor future marketing sends to those subscribers based on the feedback that they're receiving. We're getting their interests, their preferences, their likes, everything that they're interested in can be done through a live poll. If you were to take just an example here, and we'll say, we'll use the company Strava. Strava is an exercise fitness app with like a social component to it. If they sent a live poll to me that said, what type of bicyclist am I? And my options would be, downhill enduro riding or stationary Peloton riding, or even, the third option could be, uphill climbing. I would choose uphill climbing because I'm a masochist. So obviously the emails that would be appropriate for me moving forward would be something in the effect of like, what is proper nutrition for climbing? Or what are some exercises I can do in the gym to be a better rider? Or even, are there local mountains in my neighborhood or my general vicinity that I could ride? So again, valuable insight, great zero-party data that we're able to collect. And again, we can leverage that data to market to our subscribers downstream to be more impactful with the messaging that we want.
Yeah. So Eric, you brought up a lot of great points today. I mean, if you were to just kind of summarize everything, for our listeners and viewers here of the Ragnarokast, maybe give us 3 bullet points about everything we talked about, just as a nice way to wrap it up.
Yeah, I'd be happy to take a stab at that. I think I'll start with, there's always an opportunity to strengthen the relationship in the customer journey. So regardless if that is, email acquisition or during the customer lifecycle or even post-purchase, if marketers take a look at the data that they truly know and have on their subscribers, it's going to give them the best opportunity to be organic and to be genuine and to speak to their audience in an individual manner that ultimately is going to create a lift in those email campaigns. 2 is that if you're currently not using a feature like live polls to gain valuable insight on your subscribers, I would definitely encourage it. It's super fun. It's interactive. It's engaging. Customers are willingly giving up that information, which marketers then can take and create very tailored, targeted email sends to them in the future. And then 3, with the holidays coming up, if you haven't tried putting timers in your email campaigns to create a lift, it's something I would definitely encourage to as well. NiftyImages is a very fun, it's a very easy to use solution. So if you have thoughts about possibly using some of these personalization tactics in the holiday season, it's definitely worth giving a shot. So maybe a little shameless plug right there at the end.
Well, that is quite literally all the time that we have for today. So I would like to thank our co-host / guest Kat for joining us and asking questions. And I would also very much like to thank Eric Elliott, or should I say, yes, Eric Elliott. So everybody, be sure to follow us on, not on Threads, because I don't think we're on there yet.
We are. We just aren't very
we're
active.
on Threads. Okay, we're on Threads.
Super active.
We're on Threads.
We're threaded.
We're on LinkedIn. We're on... Follow our email. Follow our Snapchat.
Our email's pretty good. Our email's pretty good. We don't have Snapchat though. We have.
Oh, we don't have Snapchat.
No, we do have TikTok though. We do have TikTok.
Oh, we got the talk.
We got TikTok.
We're talking.
Follow us on there.
And then don't forget to visit NiftyImages at NiftyImages.com. That's NiftyImages.com.